In this project, we're going to take a look at creating a fantasy landscape reflection. So we have two images, one is a sunrise and one is a tree. So starting off with the sunrise image, we're just simply going to press C on the keyboard to bring up the crop tool, and then we're just going to crop out the houses at the base of the image and the aerials as well. Click on the tick in the options bar in order to confirm that crop. Next, we bring up our tree image. If the crop tool is a little intrusive, then just press H for hand, and then that'll stop that trying to crop everything. And then if we press V on the keyboard, that will activate the move tool. Then we can simply click and drag the tree up and down and into the sunrise image. So place it fairly low within the picture space, just so that you're hiding the other elements that are within that tree image. Next thing we need to do is change our blend mode, so go to the layers panel and just change that to multiply, and then that just gets rid of that light background. And then working on the tree, if we press Command T or Control T on a Windows machine, then just pick a corner handle, and then we can just increase the size of that tree image just until it's a better position in the picture space. Click on the tick in order to confirm that transformation. Next thing that we're going to do is pick up the eraser tool, and then we can just click and paint around to get rid of any harsh lines that appear within that tree image. So we're just basically going around and painting out with the eraser, so we end up with a cleaner image. We need to open up the levels panel next, so press Command L or Control L, and we're just going to give the silhouette a little bit more definition, so dragging the black point slider inwards, and again you can adjust these settings on your own image. So it's basically just to improve definition, and then we simply click OK. So we're going to create a sun, and so we need to work with the lighting effects filter. So I'm going to press plus to create a new layer, and then with default colors selected, I'm going to press option and backspace, and that fills that layer with black. I can then go to blending modes, change my blending mode to screen, so that is now invisible. It just means I've got a basis for that lens flare to sit on. So we next go to filter and we choose render, and then pick up on lens flare. And we can move that lens flare around within the frame, but we really want to finish with a brightness of 100%, and the lens type 50 to 300 works well for this project. So now we have that lens flare in place, just reduced down slightly. Again, you may want to use the move tool to reposition within the frame, and then use the eraser in order to just rub out any parts of the lens flare that you don't really want to have showing within the picture space. So once we have that in place, the next thing that we're going to do is to create the reflection effect. So we need to go to the layer menu and choose flatten image. And then when we do that, we need to extend our canvas. So we need to duplicate the layer first of all with Control or Command J and work on the background layer. So we go to the image menu and we're choosing canvas size. So within the canvas size, we'll take our units of measurement from pixels and change them to centimeters, and we'll move the anchor point upwards so that we're creating space at the base of the image. So it's the height that's going to change. We don't need to change the width of the image, but in terms of height, we're basically doubling what we have. So I'm just going to change that to 36. The extension color will be white, and then we can click OK. Again, we can press Command and minus or Control and minus just to zoom out a couple of times. So now we've effectively extended the canvas. So working on the top layer, we can go to our edit menu, and then we can choose transform, and then we can choose flip vertical. So now we have our upside down tree, and using our move tool, we can hold down shift to keep everything straight. We just simply drag that downwards so that it's into position. If we zoom in, we can check if that's fitted nice and neat, which it should have done, and matched up the tree, and then we can zoom back out again. Okay, so now we have our tree in place, and so the next thing that we need to be thinking about is to click on the transparent pixels lock there, just to lock those pixels in place for the next stage. The next thing we're going to do is just go to, so we're working on the base layer, so that's the base where we need to create the reflection. So we're going to go to filter, blur, and then we'll pick up our motion blur. So we'll use an angle of 90 degrees for this. The distance is 40 pixels, which will work well, and then we click OK for that. So we're going to use the displacement map in order to create the reflection effect. So if we just go to our filter menu and then jump into distort and displace. So we're going to change the pixels in the horizontal and vertical scale to create that flat reflection. So we're pulling them both ways. We'll stretch to fit and repeat edge pixels. So once we click OK, we now just navigate to the displacement map we'd like to use. And so there's 10 to choose from. I'm going to choose number 7 this time. And then we now have the displacement map in place. So if there are any sort of edges that need repairing, we can do that with our spot healing brush. But we're going to just make a little bit of mist in the image to add a bit of atmosphere. So again, we're creating a new layer, and then using a nice soft brush, we'll paint with white. So press X in order to swap default colours. So the brush needs to be nice and soft, and then I can just use my right square bracket in order to increase the size of that brush. And we're going to paint with quite a low opacity, and then we're just painting some mist along the horizon line. So again, that's just to add in a touch of atmosphere. And then we can go to layer and flatten image. So any repairs that need to be done, if there's any lines showing through, if you just click with the spot healing brush to draw a straight line, shift click at the other end. And so that's just to repair along the horizon, and then any other areas that might have just been affected by the displacement map, we can just paint on with the spot healing brush in order to fix those imperfections. And there we have it. So that's creating a fantasy landscape reflection. Thank you for watching.